Alright, so we're going to do some work with the VT-7 Vagrant, the new aircraft for the BDF. It is the BDF's equivalent to the Compass, very roughly. It has a 20mm rotary cannon and the ability to take a lot of sides. So, 6 sides on the wings, it appears. Don't think you can carry sides on the center pylon. Nope, only a single AGM-68, the GPO 500, or a 20mm rotary autocannon. So I'm going to do some air-to-air work to begin with. Having 6 sides right off the bat would be great, but I do want to keep 2 smaller IR missiles for self-defense just in case. The scythe can't turn as hard as an MMR-S3 can, so it's generally advisable to keep a couple of those on board if you're able. Alright, so you saw with the takeoff that I angled my nozzles to 45 degrees. It helps you do a shorter takeoff, and especially on K92, the runway is very short, so it can be very helpful. So I do have a radar on board this aircraft. That helps a lot with BVR. So you can see, I can see this cricket all the way from 8 miles out. I do have a friendly radar station on the ground, so that does help a lot too. I think I just spotted that compass though. I'm kind of outside the engagement envelope for a side, especially at this lower speed that I'm at right now. There's another aircraft. Chicane. That one looks like a pretty easy target. It's only 10 miles out, so I'm going to go Fox 3 Chicane. And that is in Juliet 10. Juliet 10. So, that Chicane looks like it's evading. It's probably going to have a successful evasion if it has jamming on. Yep, it actually terrain masked. That's impressive. So I'm going to get low, keep flaring these off. I've got very little engine power right now to try and avoid being spotted. They really want me down. Splash that compass. Good hit. I am deep in contested territory. This is kind of a bad spot for me to be in right now. I'm very low on flares, so I'm going to try and keep under terrain. If I can keep my thermal signature low enough, I can use less flares to flare off missiles. That was a short-range launch on that Fox 3, so it looks like that Chicane got hit. I need to flare this off. I don't have flares.
Engine 5.
Ah! Yeah, very dangerous spot for me to be in. If I was at higher altitude, it would have been a safer play, but definitely not a good idea where I was at there. It appears I did get that Chicane. Let me see if I can find that. Is that a burning wreck anywhere? No, it's still flying. Hey, it just goes to show how resilient that thing is. An 8, a Fox 3 right to the face. It's still flying. Alright, let's get up in another aircraft. I'm going to do another Vagrant just because I think it'd be fun. Don't have any special liveries yet. I'm part of the Atom Task Force, so eventually I will get the ATF livery once that comes out. Looks like I can't actually afford another Vagrant. Can I afford a Compass? Is it cheaper? It is cheaper. I'll do that and I'll do some Ground Strike with some ADM-48s. That'll get me some more money. The inner wing, sides, and then S3's in there. And I'll do some 125s on the wings. Do us well. So this is the 7th Naval Ox skin for the Atom Task Force. It's a very clean looking skin. I quite enjoy the work that Eric does on these skins. So we're just going to taxi the runway. Go full throttle. The takeoff performance definitely seems to be a lot better on the Compass. I think they improved the engine power that it has. It feels much faster. I don't have any numbers to back that up, but it does. It just feels a little better, you know. Okay, so it looks like we've got a chicane over there. That's probably the chicane that I failed to kill earlier. Let's see what we can do about that. And there's definitely some changes to aircraft AI lately. That thing is plummeting. What is happening to it? Oh, I think it got some control degradation from the hits that I got on it. Whatever. So I've got 4 MBTs here. AGM 48s don't work very well on MBTs, so I'm going to use these PAB 125s that I have on board. That's pickle times 4. It looks like I did kill that chicane. Nice. So those bombs are away. MBTs do have lasers, so they're going to try and intercept them, but I don't think they'll get any of them. Yeah. Good hits. Okay. So we had an IR missile on there. I did just decrease throttle, and it evaded it just by decreasing my thermal signature. Let's see, we've got these guys here. Flying straight towards them. I'm going to keep low to try and break line of sight. I've got rifle times 6, and we're breaking right. Yeah, okay. So I got the major air defenses in that area. What do I have left? I've got 2 sides. Let's see if I can do some sneaky shit. Okay, I'm going to fire Fox 3 over the terrain here at this cricket. I'd like to see you try and evade that, buddy. Good hit. Looked on my MFD there. Got another couple crickets coming out here. These ones, Fox 3 that one, and then Fox 2. That one's on final, so that one's pretty much a sitting duck.
Left engine fire.
Ooh, got
right
it.
engine fire.
Didn't make it. Oh well, can't win them all, right? Still did some good work, got some ground targets. I think now it's time I'm gonna do a... Ooh, I could do a Brawler. I think that's a good one. Do the Wyvern High-Vis. Yeah. Alright, so I really like taking a lot of Kingpins on the Brawler, just because it has an absurd amount of lasers on it. It's got 3 lasers, I believe. So it can actually fire rockets at 3 separate targets at once. Now, I do usually use a mod called Laser Rocket Fix. I don't currently have that one on right now because the new update broke a bunch of mods. So I'm going to let it cook for a little bit before I turn that one back on. Now, one thing I should do, the Brawler is very efficient engine-wise, so I'm going to reduce my fuel load to about 20% just to give myself a little extra maneuverability. So I've got 48 Kingpins, 2 Eyeballs, and 2 IRMs. The S2s will give me some form of self-defense other than my guns. Make it a little easier to survive out there. And the Kingpins are very effective against all ground vehicles. You can even take out some buildings with them. If you hit the door of a munitions bunker, you can actually kill a munitions bunker with Kingpins. So I'm seeing that we got 2 boats in the bay out west. We'll try and take those boats out with this Kingpins. Not very effective against dynamos or anything larger than that. So like anything larger than a shard, I should say, isn't very effective Kingpin-wise. We've got 2 patrol boats and a shard, so it looks like I've got the perfect amount of targets actually. I can select the shard and the boats and get lasers on all 3 of them. I'm trying to remain situationally aware. Just checking my map. Always want to make sure that you don't hit terrain or anything like that while you're checking your map. So I've got a couple chicanes and a tarantula to my south. Those shouldn't be an issue before I get to target. Alright, so I'm in engagement range for these kingpins. I just don't have a target solution yet. Once I get within line of sight, I should be able to laser all 3 targets, and then we should be able to launch the kingpins. Alright, so I'm going to pitch up a little, get over this hill, and then I'm going to do that. Realize I'm a fool for deselecting those targets. Brawler's got extremely cold engines, so even one flare pop, generally speaking, will be enough. Alrighty then, so I've got one more target. It's this shard. So I'm going to shimmy a little when I launch these kingpins. That makes them launch from multiple angles. Makes it more difficult for shards to intercept all of the weapons. So, looks like I killed that shard. I'm going to do some scouting, and then I'm going to try and take out some air defenses. So I've got a good targeting solution on the ammo truck over there. I'm going to launch an eyeball. Eyeballs work a lot like aircraft detection does. Visual detection, I should say. If it has line of sight on something and it's close enough, it'll spot it. So I think right now everything's spotted in this area. We've got a lot of friendlies operating in the area. And there is an aero sentry that I'm going to want to take out. So, one thing that they did change was proximity fuses work better now. So even if you flare a missile off, if you don't shimmy to avoid the missile inertial guidance system, you will still get hit, and it is kind of scary. Many times have I gotten hit by missiles that I generally wouldn't have before this update, even just now playing. So it's very important to change your course, you know, if a missile's launched on you. So I've got a chicane up here that I'm going to try and take out. It's got guns on me, but I've got guns on it. Good, solid hits. There we go. My gunnery isn't too great with the Brawler. It is kind of an unforgiving platform. Alright, I do have a Tula left. I do have a compass over here too. I'm gonna Fox 2 compass. They are persistent with these IR missiles. I did splash that compass, so we're in gun range of the Brawler, or the Tarantula now. Come on, get some hits. Good hits. One engine gone on that thing. There we go. And I'm going down.
Right engine failure.
Yep, lost my tail. Ran out of flares. Stayed in the AO for too long. It does kind of feel like missiles need a lot more flares to flare off now. There's a few cases there where I got hit by missiles that I normally wouldn't have. Alright, let's see. So, I'm doing confrontation, so I'm going to take up something a little bit bigger. Let's think. I kind of want to take an Ifrit. Got the means to do so. Let's take a couple GBMs on the outer wings. I'll do some augers on the inners, and then do 68s in the rear and size in the front. So that'll give me 5 missiles to work with, 3 radars, and a couple heaters. We got the lights on the hangars now. God, that looks great. Alright, I'll get in the air, get into the AO, and then I will report back. Okay, so I'm in the air now. I've got a Revoker launching Tuscos at some of our friendly units at long range. I think my current objective is going to be to destroy the remaining units at Dust Bowl. Dust Bowl's kind of been a thorn in my side right now. I may have a couple scimitars on me if those scimitars are meant. That one might be for that Tula. Yeah, it was. That one's for me. So I'm gonna blade this one off. Just swap to my IRs. Blade 2. Got it. Just shot it off with my own missile. That was a little late. Kind of scary. I was fumbling through my missiles there. And I'm gonna give that Revoker some payback. Fox 3, Revoker, India 10. So right now my vessel's on data link guidance, so the Revoker hasn't detected it yet. Now it has. There we go. This semi-active is going to be pretty slow, so I'm going to just get into a notch. There we go. Got a chicane up here. Fox 3 chicane. That one's getting into a notch. It might successfully jam it off. That's fine. What we have guns for. I got one hit. Not enough to do anything though, so I'm gonna select this Aero Sentry and something else. Do this helipad. We go nose hot with the GBMs, and we are in range, so we'll launch them. Still don't have a launch sound. That kind of sucks. But those things should take out a bunch of stuff. Omelets are generally pretty hard for those to kill. Alright, I did a kinetic evasion of that. I physically got under terrain. That spag is still alive. You are a pain in my rear, sir. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get as close as I can. And we're gonna wild weasel this. There we go. And I've got augers. Tired of this Sam IR. Auger on that. Let's see if it launches another one at me before it dies. Nope. Good work. So I've got one side left. That compass is asking for it. How many flares? 30 flares left. I'm gonna let that compass go for now. Those missiles behind me are pretty far. I'm just gonna kinetic evade those. If I get afterburner, we should just be able to fizzle out. And I changed my mind. Fox 3 compass. That might evade that. Nope, got it. Good work. AI seem a lot better at dodging missiles now, so that was a kind of a toss-up. Alright, we're gonna get within engagement range of this Brawler. I could launch this S2, but I have a feeling that would probably get flared off. Fox 2. Did hit. I think it got one of its engines, maybe. No, they're both still turning. Oh! Well, I got the Brawler! Man, I need to change my approach on those gun runs. That was crazy. Alright, so we're in a pretty good position right now. We've got Dust Bowl completely disabled. So I'm going to go for an ARAD strike on a few things right now. I'm going to keep those 68s. They'll probably be useful for something. I'm going to try and find that shard, and we're going to take that out with these ARADs. Alright, so we're airborne. Don't have an active spot on that shard, so I'm gonna go find it. It's probably also a surf class down there, if I had to guess. Alright, so I've got active spot on that shard now. Still 13 miles away. I'm going to try and keep terrain between me and the shard if I'm able to. Do have active spot though, that's good. If I keep terrain between me and the shard, it won't be able to fire a missile at me. So that's the ideal approach right there. Off here, but I'm behind terrain again. The flight model of the Ifrit jet changed a bit too. It feels it's slower in these turns. ARAD ×4. Descend. Those magnums should do damage. Yep, got the shard. Alright, so I got 268s, and it looks like we got a patrol boat. Launched at radar station. Radar station. Alright, looks like the boat took out that radar station, or radar station? The surf class. Boat took out the surf class, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. There's 2 semi-Rs up on that mountain next to that radar station. I'm just gonna annihilate those. Hopefully, anyway. See if they get intercepted. Alright, I had to dump a bunch of flares there, but I got my missiles out. I got one of them. Let me get low. Hopefully that missile doesn't track. Yep, alright, so I've got some radar guidance. Holy shit. Fox 3. And another Fox 3. I'm dead. Man, these AIs are on it right now. Yeah, both of those engines gone. That was a good call to punch out before that missile hit. Ooh! Yeah, would not have wanted to be in that aircraft. That's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to try and lighten the load. I'm going to destroy these factories up here. And to do that, I'm going to get in an Ifrit with some GPO 500s. No Ifrits for reserve, so I'm just going to purchase one. I'm going to target these factories. I have a total of 8 bombs, so I'll just throw 2 at each factory. So we are airborne, wheels up. And so we got strategic nukes. I may use one of those on Dust Bowl later, just to absolutely make sure nothing's there. No, we've got friendly units. Well, we're not about to have friendly units. Never mind. Brawler just mopped the floor with them. They tend to do that. Alright, so I'm at 30,000 feet. That's a pretty good altitude for me to start doing a bombing run So I'm going to do CCRP bombing, which is the bombing thing we have right now. On my HUD it says release in about 18 seconds. It's counting down pretty fast because I'm accelerating. And then the estimated time of flight is underneath that. So when those arrows touch, I'm going to release all my bombs. Alright, so now I'm in a pretty high altitude, and I also have a lot of missiles. So I'm going to do some combat air patrol. I've got an enemy Ifrit, nose hot on me. I'm going to do a good old Fox 3 right at him. Looks like he may have launched a missile at me, so I'm going to pre-select those. Yep, and Blade 2 times 2. Got them both. And that Ifrit's down. There's possibly a chicane down there somewhere. I'm going to see if I can find that guy. Yep, I found him. There you go, Fox 3. My bombs landed in the meantime. There's a bolt strike down there launching missiles at me. Oh, this isn't going to jam off, is it? Yeah, I got it. We're good. That chicane survived my Fox 3 top down. Not quite sure why that was. Wasn't paying attention. There we go. Fox 3, chicane, 2 miles. Fox 2, chicane, 2 miles. Yeah. Eat it. Get fucked. There we go. Yeah, not sure how that chicane was jamming those. I guess it's possible. Alright, what are we looking at? I got 3 IRs left and gun. Wonder where that bolt strike that was shooting at me is. Another IR missile. Wait for my heat to go down and then I'll flare off. Another Brawler. Let's see if I can redeem myself with a gun run. Alright. Brawler's nose hot on me. I don't like that. Fuck. There are so many missiles. It did flare it off, but that's fine. Some good sprays. Brawler's down. Disengage from the target so I don't hit it this time. Oh my god. So many IRs. Alright, I'm getting out of here. Low and fast. So those factories getting destroyed should greatly reduce the amount of units coming out of Sandra. And that's great, because that means I won't have as much to deal with when I'm nuking it later. First, though, there is a bolt strike and a few other air defenses there that I want to get rid of. Bolt strikes have a annoying tendency to intercept nukes before they can land. And I don't want that. Unfortunately, we won't be up in an AB4 because it is disabled for this game mode. But I can get up in another Ifrit. This time I'm going to take ARADs on the wings. And I'll take some GPO 500s in the bay. I'll keep those scythes. After all, the side is your bread and butter air-to-air missile. It's a staple, as it. While we're in the climb, I'm just going to open my map and see what there is to see. Well, it looks like most of the air defenses in the area are non-radar based. There is still this radar station and this radar station. It might be a good idea for me to get rid of those. It'll cover my entrance a little. Probably won't matter. I think the likelihood of me getting intercepted is pretty low. Anyway, though, I will actually destroy these radars. So we've got one there and one there. I've got 2 ARADs, ARAD targets, I should say, selected, and I've got 4 ARADs. So when I pull the trigger once, it's going to fire 2 of them, one at each target I have selected. I'm at 30,000 feet, so this should be a pretty good engagement envelope. But we're going to go Magnum times 2. They kind of crossed over each other, that's cool. And they should automatically engage the targets I have selected. We'll know later if they hit. So I want to hit the SAM-R there. There is a radar truck, but it doesn't actually control any fire. Let's see if these ARADs get through. 1 and 2. They did. Good. So now the only radar that's left that isn't airborne is the radar truck down there and the bolt truck. The radar truck can detect me right now. The bolt truck can't. We're going to stay at high altitude here, and 38,000 feet I'm going to do Magnum times 2. And that's at the Bolt Strike and Juliet 10. Those are going to be screaming. Right now they're going about Mach 3, Mach 4 now. And there we go. So now I'm going to get into a dive now that there's no radar-based air defenses. I'm going to try and spot targets over here and take out an aero sentry that I know is here. Where is it? There's something. Alright, so I've got 2 there. We're going to wild weasel this. We want to not die ideally. I got the MSV radar. I got a revoker? What? What the hell? Okay, interesting. Well, I'm still in the AO and I have sides, so we are going to do some work. The chicane is not an active track, so there's something there. Ibis? Yeah, Ibis. Box 3. Box 3. Yep, I know. Alright, Ibis is down, that chicane is going up too. And we're gonna fly low and fast to get out of this. Oh, that chicane actually performed a successful sortie. Amazing. Didn't quite die, I guess. Got to the ground safely. Ah, that's bad. Okay, that's good. We're gonna try and stay as low as physically possible here. This will give us the best chance of survival. Yeah, like that. I just broke line of sight with that missile, so it lost track of me. Okay, that's really bad. Oh wow, I survived. Afterburners stopped working though, so my speed's crippled. I'm out of flares now, so I'm just gonna stay low and try and get out. Get home. See, my speed is really bad right now. My engines are only operating at about 80% capacity right now. And the afterburners are non-functional. Well, I'm going to divert to K92 to try and get an early landing so I don't die. Be a faster landing too, I guess. Alright, we're getting out of here. Let's see if that Fox 3 hits that Ifrit. Oh, that's a that's a data link guided active radar. Didn't see me because I was behind a mountain. And looks like we captured Dust Bowl. Hell yeah. We're gonna give ourselves some drag.
Raise gear.
This is a scuffed ass landing. Scuffed ass landing. We'll make it work. Hell yeah! Naval landing gear, folks! That was not in the books. Not by the books in the slightest. That's alright, we made it home. That's all that counts. Don't tell my commanding officer. Alright, so looks like our last objective is going to be to destroy the aircraft factories. There's that aero sentry I was looking for earlier. I didn't end up killing it, unfortunately, but that doesn't matter entirely, because I can just nuke the shit out of everything there. So we're going to go GPON 250s. If you'll recall from some of my previous videos, they have a pretty long arming time, so we're going to go to extremely high altitudes before launching them. I'm going to take clean wings. This may confuse some people, but clean wings will reduce my RCS a great amount. Keeping reduced RCS will allow me to not be detected by enemy radars. I did destroy that HLT radar there, but there still may be aircraft in the sky looking to intercept me. I'm not going to allow them though, because I'm going to 50,000 feet. We're very light because we don't have anything on our wings, so I'm going to go into a 50-degree climb to get up as fast as possible. Climb performance of the Ifrit is very impressive. Extremely impressive, actually. Got some of the most powerful engines in a fighter of its size. Let's see if I can get this patrol boat to go over here. Is it stuck on land? Oh my god, the patrol boat beached itself. That's hilarious. I've never seen that before. Alright, so we're at 45,000 now. Start leveling off. Turn hot on our target, which is Dust Bowl. Or sorry, Sandrift. Not a lot going on up here. I'm going to turn off my radar. I don't know if this actually does anything against AIs, but I don't need a radar at this high altitude. Nothing is going to be up here that can detect me before I can detect it. And so we're going to get up into our 10-degree climb to final altitude. Notice I'm going very fast right now. I'm going Mach 1.6, and that will actually increase. Got 4 nukes, so I'm going to select 4 targets across the entire field. And we're going to do CCIP bombing this time. That's the CCRP that just went by. I'm not looking to do loft bombing right now. I'm looking to get to 50,000 feet. And do some normal bombing, some dive bombing, as it were. So here we are screaming at Mach 1.7. Once I am directly over the target, and looking at my mini map in the bottom left, I'm going to invert and start a dive. Now, the GPON 250 kiloton nukes have a 16-second arming time. I'm going to release them now at 17 seconds, just to be safe. I'm in an overspeed right now because I'm going about Mach 2, but as long as I get outside of the area, I should be fine. Overspeed doesn't really mean much in the Ifrit at high altitudes. We should see those nukes go off here soon. There they go. I didn't get the glory shot, but there you are. That's what she looks like. Alright, And I'm gonna make it back home too. Where's this Brawler?